Happy Tuesday, everyone, from Houston, Texas. Welcome to Stellar Parenting. I'm your host, Brandi Kahn. I'm an intuitive astrologer, and I also hold a Master of Science degree in psychology with an emphasis in child and adolescent development. And I love helping parents and teachers learn how to combine and mix the magic of the stars with the art of consciously raising our children. If you are interested in working with me, please visit my website at brandycon.com. For today's show, we will be talking about the transits that we have coming up this week, and there are some big transits. And then we will have time for a caller at the end of the show. So if you're interested in knowing what the month of August holds for you through a tarot spread, please call in. I'd love to speak with you. So, beginning with the transits for this week, we've got a big week and it's really all concentrated towards the end of the week, but you will be feeling a lot of this energy beginning even tomorrow, Wednesday, okay? But the first aspect that we have this week, we will have Mars making a beautiful trine to the planet Uranus on Friday, August the 8th. And this will be a fast moving electric and energizing transit. We will have Mars at 1 degree of Libra and Uranus at 1 degree of Gemini. So this will be a breath of fresh air in the middle of some of the heavier planetary energy that we're navigating and moving through right now. Trines are really flowing aspects and they bring ease, they bring momentum, they bring opportunity. And when Mars, the planet of action, motivation, and drive, is teaming up with Uranus, the planet of breakthroughs and awakenings, we get a cosmic green light to do something differently. So, also remember, this is going to be an air trine. So, Libra is an air sign, and Gemini is also an air sign. And the air signs really embody and encompass mental energy, communication, ideas, and relationships. So, Mars in the sign of Libra is inviting us to take action with a sense of fairness and diplomacy, while Uranus and Gemini is really bringing sudden insights, flashes of genius, and innovative solutions. So, what I want you to watch out for with this energy, I don't want you to rush into change just for the sake of rebellion, okay? Because this transit really isn't about chaos and creating chaos. It's about consciously innovating, consciously doing something different, and avoid passive aggressive behavior because Libra wants fairness, Libra wants diplomacy. But Mars can sometimes act out indirectly if things feel unbalanced. So be honest, but at the same time, remember to be kind. And also beware of scattering your energy. So, with air signs involved here, it's really easy to get distracted and focus on a million things or try to focus on a million things at the same time. So, I want you to anchor your ideas with a sense of intention. So, with this energy, what you can do, you can take bold steps toward change, especially in your relationships and when you are collaborating with others. Do something different, take a different approach. Okay. And speak up if you've been holding something back that you need to say. But remember, I want you to speak from truth and not from ego, and try a new approach. Okay, if there's an area of your life that's been feeling stuck, you can't get it to go, try something different. Your most brilliant solution might come from doing the opposite of what you normally do. Okay, so it's a great day for inspired action, for spontaneous problem solving, and courageous communication. And remember, your job is not to fear these energies, not to be afraid of what's coming, but to work with them. You are a co-creator and the planets are your cosmic teammates. So think about it that way. For those of you who are parents, with this transit, what I want you to do, I want you to avoid trying to control too much. All right. So, Uranian energy can feel rebellious at times, okay, when it's boxed in. So loosen the reins where it's safe to do so with your children. And don't try to do too many things at once. You want to avoid multitasking to the point of not being in the present moment for your children. The best insights often come when you allow yourself to pause and listen fully to what your children have to say. Now, so what you could do, you could try something new as a family, okay? Try a new game, a new restaurant, or a new way of doing your routine. And let your children see that change can be fun. Also, help them to embrace their uniqueness during this time because Uranus really supports individuality. So, if your children want to dress a little weird, this weekend or say something quirky or follow their curiosity, allow them to do so and teach peaceful assertiveness. Okay. Because Mars in Libra is all about taking action without aggression. And it's a beautiful moment to guide your children in asking for what they need kindly and clearly. Show them how to do that. So remember, parenting is a dance. And on days like around Thursday, Friday, the rhythm may change, but that can make the dance even more beautiful. So stay open, stay curious, and above all, stay connected. Also, on Friday, August the 8th, we will have Mars at 1 degree of Libra, directly opposing Saturn at 1 degree of Aries. Okay. So this transit may feel like a tug of war between assertive action and hard boundaries, and between what you want to do and what you are allowed to do. So Mars wants to move forward, and especially in the sign of Libra, Mars is seeking fairness and connection, okay? But Saturn in the sign of Aries can be like a stern teacher reminding us that we cannot skip steps and that true growth requires discipline, patience, and integrity. So this can feel like you're slamming on the brakes just when you're gaining momentum. All right. Or like that you have to prove that you're ready for something before you're allowed to proceed. But I want you to remember this weekend, okay? It's not that you're getting a no from the universe, about a certain area or in a certain area of your life. It just may be a not yet, not right now. All right. So there may be delays or obstacles in relationships with teamwork, or if you're working for justice or fairness, or you may have a sense of pressure or frustration when things don't move quickly like you want them to. There could also be a test of your emotional maturity and communication skills. And also, old fears around rejection, criticism, or failure might be coming up. But here's the key, I want you to remember you're not a victim of this energy, okay? You are a co creator. So when you meet Saturn's challenges with grace and a willingness to grow, you can actually level up your confidence and effectiveness. So I don't want you to push through this energy just to prove yourself. That's going to be the shadow side of Mars. Also, avoid blame or defensiveness in your conversations, especially with your loved ones. And don't give up just because something is hard or difficult. Saturn is not blocking your path. Saturn never blocks the path. Saturn strengthens you for the path. Okay. So here's how to work with this energy. I want you to pause before you react. If you feel blocked, reflect before you push, and clarity will come through having patience. Also, honor your limits and honor other people's limits at the same time. So don't expect immediate agreement or perfect harmony with this transit. Okay, there might be some opposition. Also, it's a great time to refine your long term goals. What are you building right now? Okay, what are you building? Are you acting in alignment with your deeper values? So, really think about that. This will be a transit for inner leadership and showing up with a sense of maturity and for choosing aligned action over reaction. So you can make progress under this energy, even though it feels like you're being blocked. Okay. But it's going to come from grounded effort and emotional clarity, not through force. For parents with this transit, okay, this energy can really stir up tension between wanting to act or respond quickly, that would be Mars, needing to pause, reflect, and take responsibility, which is Saturn, okay? So your children may be feeling frustrated by the rules, delayed gratification, or not getting their way. And as a parent, it's going to be a powerful time for you to model resilience, patience, and emotional regulation for your child. So you might notice that they are impatient, they're irritable, there may be conflict. If you've got more than one child between the children, your children may have difficulty expressing themselves clearly, and they may want to test boundaries with authority figures like you. Okay. So what you want to avoid, try not to snap out at your child if you're stressed. Okay. It's going to be really easy to do that this weekend, or being overly strict or dismissive about their feelings. And also try not to overcommit your family schedule. So, this is a good time to not have so many things on the to-do list, all right, with this Saturn transit. The ways that you can support your children are through modeling calm leadership. So if your child pushes your boundaries, stay steady and show them that firmness and love can coexist at the same time. Also, acknowledge their frustration. If they're feeling frustrated, you can say, I see that you're feeling really stuck right now, because validation really kind of softens resistance. Also, give structure with choices. So, Saturn loves structure, but Mars wants some autonomy and independence. So, offer limited options to support both. And what you can do together, you can practice deep breathing exercises or simple mindfulness routines. Also, do something physical but calming, like yoga, stretching, or taking a walk in nature. And talk about delayed rewards with your child, like saving money or setting a long term goal and learning how to work toward that goal. So, this transit isn't here to block us. Even though it might feel that way, it's not here to block us. It's here to help us to grow stronger and wiser. And when you show your child how to move through tension with integrity and love, you're teaching them skills that will last a lifetime. So on Saturday, August the 9th, we will have Mars in Libra opposite Neptune in the sign of Aries. So this is one of those transits that will feel like you are walking through fog. Mars is the planet of action and willpower. And in the sign of Libra, Mars is trying desperately to be fair, to be diplomatic, and to be balanced. But it's facing off with Neptune. All right. And Neptune is the planet of dreams, illusions, and higher ideals. So it's a confusing time, might feel like a push and a pull between doing what looks right and doing what feels right on a soul level. Okay. So you might notice there's a lack of clarity around decisions or motivations, or you may be feeling pulled between doing what's expected of you and doing what feels right on a soul level. There may also be some confusion in your relationships or confusion with boundaries, or you might be confused with how to assert yourself clearly. So, what I want you to avoid, okay, I don't want you to act on assumptions or half truths, okay? It's really easy with this Neptune transit to kind of come up with our own ideas about things that are not grounded in reality and they're not true. Also, avoid being a martyr in your relationships or being overly accommodating for other people to the detriment of yourself. Also, be wary of escapism, especially through social media or using the iPad, but also through alcohol or substances as well. And don't make major decisions unless you're grounded in your truth. So you can use this energy really to clarify your intentions before confronting others. Okay. So, one of the spiritual laws is the law of cause and effect. So, if you approach someone or you address someone in a confrontational way, more than likely that is the energy that you are going to get back. So, clarify your intentions before going and speaking to others. Okay. Also, pause before taking action and ask yourself, is this coming from my intuition or illusion? Am I just making this up? But it's a great time to focus on creative, spiritual, or artistic outlets because this is absolutely beautiful energy for channeling spiritual insight. Okay. And for those of you who are parents, your children may seem more sensitive, more distracted, or more confused about boundaries with this transit. And they may have trouble asserting themselves, or they may mimic passive aggressive behavior if that's what's being modeled around them in their environment. So it's a great time to gently guide your child toward honest expression of feelings while modeling healthy conflict resolution and help them to understand that it's okay to say what they need and that kindness doesn't mean self sacrifice. And finally, on Sunday, August the 10th, we will have a full moon in the sign of Aquarius, 16 degrees of Aquarius. And this will be an electric and emotionally clarifying full moon where we are stepping into a portal of awareness that asks, where we can ask ourselves, where do I truly belong? Where do I belong? And am I living in alignment with my truth? And how do I want to hold space for others while staying true to myself? So, Aquarius energy is forward thinking, it's community minded, and it's deeply invested in collective growth. But it also values independence and authenticity. And with this full moon, emotional clarity may arrive in surprising ways. And sometimes, through revelations, through sudden insight, or unexpected shifts in perspective. So, what you may notice collectively around you during this time, there may be breakthroughs around group dynamics, around your friendships, or social roles. Now, this is a full moon, so there could also be emotional tension between your sense of individuality and your loyalty to others. You may also feel a call to serve something bigger than yourself without losing yourself in the process. Now, we could also see certain groups fighting for fairness or equality going against an authority figure who will not budge. And then the group, in an effort to circumvent or go around the authority figure, might be working with a new unexpected solution in order to have a breakthrough. Okay. And you might be noticing this right now. Like if you're watching current events here in the US, here in Texas, we do have a group um, of, of senators that are going against the governor. And so I expect this weekend during the full moon that that whole situation will probably come to a culmination point or a high point, and we'll just have to see how it unfolds with the full moon. So during this full moon, what I don't want you to do, I don't want you to make an impulsive decision thinking that all of a sudden you've had a breakthrough moment, okay? And don't try to fit in where your soul is craving to stand out. And be mindful of being overly aloof or emotionally unavailable during this time. This is a full moon in Aquarius. The way that you could work with this energy is by spending time journaling or meditating about where you feel out of alignment with your truth. And you can also reconnect your vision for a better future. So, what does your ideal world look like? And take a step back from emotional entanglements so you can return with clarity and not reactivity. And for those of you who are parents, your children may seem extra curious, rebellious, or emotionally distant during this full moon. Okay. So give them space to think and feel differently. Aquarius energy really thrives when it's not boxed in. Okay. So invite your kids into conversation about fairness, about the future, and about what makes them unique. You might be surprised at the wisdom that they share when they feel seen for who they truly are. So those are the transits for this week. And now it's time to go to our caller. We have Kara from Kansas. Hi, Kara. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Would you like a tarot spread on what you can expect for the month of August, or is there a particular situation you'd like for me to focus on for you?
No, that's fine.
Okay, so we'll do the month of August for Kara. Let's see what Kara's got going on and what's coming up for her. Okay, Kara, tell me when to stop. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's
Stop.
stop there. See what we've got for Kara. Um, all right, Kira. So, right now for you, would there be a situation or some concern or focus on finances for you right now?
Um, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, that just looks like that's the card that's coming up. I'm seeing some concern around finances. It could also have to do not only with finances, but there could also be some concern about a job or material possessions, something along that route. Would there be a male? This could be a spouse or a partner who might be dealing with some financial challenges or a change in jobs or employment. Would that make sense?
Um, not well. No, not
Okay. So
exactly.
yeah, if the male figure doesn't make sense for you, then this whole thing about finances, it's going to apply more so to you than to a partner that would be in your life. So for the first couple weeks of August, what I do see, we have beautiful Ace of Cups. And when this card comes up, there is the potential. There's the potential for new love, new connections, new relationships for some type of emotional fulfillment. Now, the way this almost seems to me, um, would you understand right now dealing with a sense of feeling a little bit lonely or isolated?
Yeah.
Okay. So it almost feels within the first couple weeks of the month of August that things take a shift or a turn in a new direction where you're feeling a little more connected. What I want you to watch out for, and I want you to be careful about towards the end of the month, any type of self sabotage or any type of toxic dynamics between you and another person or in a relationship. Okay. So this could have to do with self sabotaging behaviors such as, oh, I stay up all night when I know I've got to get up for work in the morning, or maybe I just try to numb out and escape when I'm not feeling well, or being in a situation with someone else that's really not serving your highest good, where that person is not honoring you as an individual. Okay. That's what I want you to watch out for towards the end of the month. Okay.
Okay.
And right now, your sense of power is really going to be coming through your connections with other people. This is other females in particular, because I do have the Three of Cups as your personal power card. So, would you understand either the group of three females, three friends, or two other friends, and maybe you guys are thinking about getting together or connecting again. Would that make sense?
Um, I would have to maybe think on that. Um,
Okay. And if there's not friends, I want you to think about other females in your life. This could be mom, these could be sisters, cousins, but I know right now that your female connections are going to be the ones that are the most empowering for you right now. Okay.
okay.
All right. Um, I do also see, though, that you've been dealing with some type of anxiety. And this almost feels like, gosh, what am I going to do in this situation? I can't figure out how to get through this situation. How do I navigate this? Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I see that that's at play right now. That's kind of factoring into whatever you're going through right now. And just intuitively, one of the things that I want to say is with whatever this challenge is or this obstacle is, I want you to be careful of feeling like you've got to shoulder this burden all on your own or like nobody else is there. You don't have anyone to talk to or no one to lean on. All right. And to reach out for help or reach out for connection to those around you. Now, the answer card here in your spread is the Six of Swords, and that's the card of moving on from a difficult situation into lighter energy or into energy that feels better. So it's like things have been a little bit difficult for me, but they're getting better. So I know that the month of August for you seems to be a turnaround point where things shift, things get better. But I also want you to remember there's anyone that's not treating you with respect in any type of situation to step away from that situation. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Kira.
Okay.
Thank you
Um,
so much for calling in. We're at the end of the show. Thanks for calling in, Kara. I really enjoyed connecting with you today.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And to everyone, as I remind you every week, the stars may guide us, but you, each of us, we hold the power to shape our own destiny. So I want you to shape your week with intention, use the energy intentionally, and have a fabulous week until I see you here again next week.